Hi, I'm Mike from Pace. Today we're here to talk about the Winegard Carryout Anser. It's a semi-automatic satellite dish. But before we get into hooking it up and showing you how it works, I'd like to review what comes in the box. We have our instruction manual. Please hold on to this. Inside there is a piece of paper that shows you your elevation and coverage maps. So when you are traveling, you're going to need that so you know what settings to set on the dish. The other part is there is two cables that come with it. There's 25 feet of coaxial cable, and there's also 25 feet of power cable. It does have a cigarette lighter, so it's run on 12 volts. You do have the option of purchasing a power inverter that takes 110 volts down to 12 volts. But this is a little unique. It doesn't require the power to be on all the time, just when you aim it. So if you do have a vehicle close by, the cigarette lighter plug-in works really well. And we'll get into that in a minute. The satellite dish itself has a nice little handle for carrying. It has some connectors on front here. This is the power. And it has support for two receivers. The first one is called main. So if you're only going to be using one satellite receiver, you're going to leave the other one with this little end cap on here. It's actually called terminator. But it will support two different satellite receivers so you can watch HD programming on two separate television sets. Now, before we get out and actually hook this up, you'll notice that there is a little line that goes around here with some numbers on it. I don't know if you can zoom in and see that. That's called your elevation marker. And to do this properly, you would loosen this screw. Once you loosen that, this entire thing rotates. And that's where our instruction manual that I mentioned earlier comes into play. So we're in Minnesota. It's about 40 degrees, and I apologize for the scene here, but we're sort of trying to get the best of both worlds, sort of staying out of the wind and warm and the right lighting. So we're doing our best on that. So if it's not the best, I apologize. But anyways, the satellite elevation coverage map. You'll see, maybe you can zoom in on that. You'll see lines going across here. And we're in southern Minnesota, so we're a little above the 35 degree mark. I've been setting it at about 34 degrees, so you'll have to play with that a little bit, and we'll get into details on how that works in a little bit. But how that's done is, again, you'll want to loosen this screw on the side, and then rotate the unit. Keep rotating it, and you'll see a line right here. This is the elevation marker, and right now it's at about 49. So we got to turn that all the way to 34. There we go. Once it's on your mark for the area that you're in, you'll want to tighten the knob on the side here. It doesn't need to be really tight, just nice and snug so the unit doesn't rotate. So that's set up. It's ready to go. We're going to go on the side of our house here, out of the wind, and actually set it on the ground and plug it in, and we'll continue on in just a second.